YouTube, and Twitter at Savannah News TV. Tune in and watch Savannah News TV. We are live. Savannah News TV. We create awareness about our place in Africa. Savannah News TV. We are distinct, we are focused, we deliver top-notch news in Savannah News TV. Equitable reporting without fear or favor. Savannah News TV. To set positive change for us and our environment is our aim. Savannah News TV. Tune in and watch Savannah News TV. We are live. Savannah News TV. Our CEO Prince Radekonde Oluchimi Chapa. Savannah News TV. Immediately I'm a leading witness. Keep watching Savannah News TV. Like and subscribe to our page on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Savannah News TV.
Yes, good morning from here. It's exactly 10:15 a.m. in the morning from the city of Toronto. Yes, it's snowing a little. We are experiencing snow little by little here. We are used to it. And I hope my people in Africa are enjoying the weather too, and my other viewers across the globe. You are on to Savannah News Television. And I remain Prince Olujimi Adekanle Joka, the Oluomo of the Kingdom, your regular host on this program. Going straight to business of the day is to give you the review of news that is making headline in Nigeria. First of all, we sympathize with the parents of those children that for the casualty yesterday, where it's said to be that we lost about 12, is it 17 children or something, for where a trailer ran into a school. Is disheartening, actually. Well, let's go now to the main headlines making waves today in Nigeria. I made bad mistake. Dili Momodu publicly tenders apology for working against Goodluck Jonathan. That was coming from the Ovation magnate, Dili Momodu. He said he made a very bad mistake. We all made the same mistake. I made the same mistake. But thank God I've apologized more than about 2 years ago or 3 years ago now. I saw it just less than a year into the government of Buhari, because I happen to be a member of the presidential campaign committee for Buhari. So that is one of the highest campaign body for Buhari. Then I was a member of that committee that worked tirelessly in bringing this monster into power. I also have apologized. I'm still apologizing for it, for committing that blunder. 4 escape death as container falls on car in Ilorin. You can get that. That is from Newsport. You can get that from there. Ogun kill there. That is coming from Daddy Freeze. Let us see why Daddy Freeze is swearing Ogun to Nigerian OAP Ifedayo Olarinde, popularly known as Daddy Freeze, has replied a troll who asks if he has paid his 5 million naira fine. You know, he asked him, and that is what his reply to the person that was asking him. That is from Daddy Freeze. He said, Ogun kill you there. You know, sometimes some questions are will be so annoying. You know, Okay, now also report from our branch over unmet demands will determine the next move. That is coming from ASU, because ASU are warming up to for strike again, and they say report from our branches over unmet demands will determine the next move. ASU. Biafra and other agitations will be buried in Southeast, will be buried if Southeast gets 2023 presidency. I don't know who is saying that, but I wonder why you think that we will bury some agitation. I don't know where he got that from. I know he's speaking that. APC won't shield members from any investigation. That is coming from the chairman of APC. Man in custody after Christmas tree outside Fox News building set on fire. That's the foreign news actually. Heartbreaking. Final text sent by dad who died of COVID after refusing vaccine. Well, he will go and explain when he get to heaven the reason why he refused vaccine. That is his own cup of tea. Ned Nwoko reveals why he divorced his wife. You know Ned, the man that is always everywhere with women, marrying here, marrying there. Ned Nwoko. He reveals why he divorced his wife, Laila Charani. I don't think this is Nigerian. Suspected cultist kills neighbor in Akwa Ibom. He must produce them alive. Huriwa drags Umahi to Buhari over missing engineers. (2023) Igbo presidency. No political manna will fall from heaven. That is credited to Okafor. Police rescue 7 kidnapped persons in Niger. Every day now is kidnapping everywhere here and there. We have one here again. Chief Segun Oshoba is back from London after a knee surgery. We wish him the best. We wish him recovering fast from that. And there's another one here making headlines. Gunmen invade Imo community, kill 2 people, killing everywhere. I don't know. Don't you have security again? COVID-19. Lagos government introduced new guidelines for social gatherings and events. Can they meet up? Can they hold the status quo throughout that? There is party every weekend in Lagos, and they don't bother about the restrictions. They don't even bother. You see some parties sometimes. I watch some parties on TV. I wonder what is really happening. They don't believe there is COVID. Today now they have shut the gate of entrance to other countries against Nigeria. Celestial Church members kidnapped during vigil rescue in Ogun. Gunmen kidnap Catholic priests, demand 20 million ransom in Ondo. This one is coming from Ondo. I think let us see the full story. Let's see how the full story goes instead of the headline. Let me go into the full story and abreast my people with it. Gunmen suspected to be kidnappers have abducted a Catholic priest in Ondo State. The 49-year-old priest, Reverend Father Joseph Ajayi, was kidnapped along the Akure-Ikere highway by the abductors. That road has been a den of kidnappers, and up to this moment, there is no security present. There is no security solution. A family source who disclosed the incidents stated that the abduction happened on Monday. On Monday, this was Monday, while the Reverend Father was traveling on the highway in his Toyota Corolla car. The family source who crave anonymity disclosed that Ajayi, who was coming from Ikere Ekiti State, was on his way to his parish, St. Peter Claver in Ilaramokin in the Fedore local government area of Ondo State. Oh my God. Excuse me. He was on his way to Ilaramokin where his parish is situated before he was attacked and taken away by a yet to be identified person to an undisclosed location. His vehicle was abandoned at the spot where they took him, the source said. The priest was said to be traveling alone when he was waylaid by his adopters. Confirming the incident, the Catholic Diocese of Ondo, through the Bishop of the Diocese, Jude Arogundade, Reverend Father Victor Ibiemi, on Tuesday evening said that doctors had contacted the church demanding for 20 million naira ransom. Oh my God. So the country is becoming something else. Youths burned down RCCG pastor's building in Ekiti over 7-year-old girl's death. Another story again making headlines. Fani Kayode has erectile dysfunction, had kids via artificial insemination. That is coming from the ex-wife. That is coming from the ex-wife. Yoruba unity non-negotiable. That is coming from the Ooni of Ife. 42 persons roasted alive in Sokoto, yet no outcry. That is coming from Senator Shehu Shani. He lamented that 42 persons roasted alive in Sokoto, yet there is nobody making the headline. Yes, this is what I gave before. 2 dead, 12 injured after a trailer rammed into school children in Lagos. Wow. 2023 did not have been marginalized. Atiku deserve presidency. That is coming from Raymond Dokpesi, is Savannah. Police lack logistics to contain crime in Cross River State. That is coming from the Commissioner of Police. This is heavy. I hope they will not redeploy him. Because people that speaks out like this, saying the truth, they are always being witch hunted. I hope they will not withdraw him as the CP of Cross River for making that statement. Also, we want to congratulate Assistant Commissioner of Police Simon Long for being the first police officer in Nigeria to be conferred with the position of a senior advocate of Nigeria. Kudos to this man, ACP Simon Long. I'm sure the man is either from Benue or Taraba by his name. We from Savannah News Television will say congratulations to ACP Simon Long being a senior advocate of Nigeria. That is commendable. Very, very commendable. Very, very commendable. I haven't said that is our news for today. News review from Nigeria. Right now, we want to discuss just 2 issues I want to discuss. One is the issue of the late Sylvester, the boy that died in Dowen College. As a parent, I felt bad. I mean, I wasn't happy at all. And we all know that Nigerian is driven by what I call emotion. When things happen like that, they just jump out, and the next thing you hear is throwing blames here and there, back and forth. But I'm this type of person. Sometimes I may be on the other side. The way I reason things, I may be on the other side, because I believe in looking at issues judiciously before making any statement. I always want to sieve issues, and I think this is the first time I'm talking about this issue. Sorry to say, I put 70% of the blame on the parents of that little boy Sylvester. You may ask me why. You may ask me why. I listened to the father when he was talking about the incident. And when I studied all what he said, I was like, it was all rouse. It was all nonsense. First of all, when your child is sick, the first place you seek help is the hospital and God through prayers. These are the two things as a parent you ought to do at that point. You leave it at the foot of God through prayers, and so also through science. That is where the science will come in through the hospital, where you now involve experts in the hospital. But instead of these parents doing all this, they were busy videoing the boy as he was dying. They were busy videoing the boy until he died in their home. As a parent, I won't do that. Do I even have time to even do video when my own child is sick at that level, and my child is in that pain? I won't have time for all that. What I will have time for is to seek medical attention, medical intervention. Not to start making video calls and making videoing my son in pains. I can't even do it. Which hand will I use to start videoing my son in pains? What is the motive behind that? What am I trying to derive? Is it because I want to, yes, this guy, he can die, but I'm going to deal with the school? Is that my aim? No. Two, I want to ask parents out there, how many of you that has children in boarding schools, how many of you have visited inside where the students are sleeping? How many of you? He says some schools say no, as a parent you cannot go beyond the gate. You can only see your child to the door and you leave from there. Not me. Not me. You can't do that with me, with my own son that I'm paying money for. You now say that you don't know where he's laying his head. Never. To God be the glory, I'm blessed with four boys. And the two of them happen to be in a boarding school back home before we relocated. The second year, when all this while I've not been at home, I've been outside the domain. So it's the mom that takes them to school. I'm always at work because I'm working outside station. But the day I was opportune to go and drop them in school, I was helping my son to carry his bag, some of his luggage. There are two of them, the junior one. I was helping him to carry his bag to get into the hostel. And when I get to the door, there is a security man said I cannot enter. I said, why? I asked him, which means I cannot enter? He said, parents are not allowed to go inside. I said, what do you mean? Where my own son is lying his head, I can't go there and see. At least let me go into the room, let me see the people he's staying with. In fact, if my intention that day was to go there and see the, okay, where are your friends? Where are your roommates? Let me see them. I can even give them some small things, maybe small tips. Okay, how are you? How are you coping? To ask them what is really happening. He said no, and I insisted. And with my own behavior, I bamboozled myself inside the place. I said, you go and tell the principal. And I went up, I climbed. When I got into the school, when I saw the bed, when I saw the room, that was the last day my children spent in that school. I won't mention the name. I came down, I told them, carry your bag. Because of what I saw. I'm not rich, but the situation I saw, the room, is not habitable. I withdrew my 2 children from that school that day. I said it's better for me for you to be at home for even another 1 year than for you to be in this type of situation. I went to the room, I saw the room, the way the rooms are, where I'm paying money for. So how many parents have entered your child's hostel where they are sleeping? Because most of these schools is packaging. You will see them at the facial level. They paint everywhere, they display everything. You think inside is like heaven. Inside where they are sleeping is like hell. And moreover, you should be able to know the students that are sleeping and waking up with your child. You should be able to know them. You should be able to have a personal relationship with them to an extent. You should be able to do that. You should be as a parent. That's what I can never do. And I withdrew them. And I enrolled them back into a day school before we left the shores of Nigeria. How many parents? You just say, oh, my children is in Doen, my children is in Chrisland. You just call my children is a British Nigerian British school. My children is in Corona. All these things, my children is in Atlantic Hall. All these things are hype. They are hype. They want to, it's just like a status symbol. My children are in First Atlantic. My children are in Doen. They are in Grange. They are in Chrisland. They are in Nigerian American School. It's all ego. There is no any big deal there. Those children in those schools I've mentioned. They are not as brilliant as all those ones in other schools. And that is the bane of our problem in Nigeria. The big people that are supposed to repair our public school, that are supposed to develop our public school, they are the ones taking their children to private school to deprive the public school of what they ought to have to have. It's all status symbol. My son go to Corona, goes to this, go to Grange, they are all status symbol. How many of them are passing 9As in GCE? You will see them, they can speak very well. You see them speaking English. Oh, God. But give them the exams. It's all about status symbol. So how many parents knows where their children are lying their head? While you are sleeping in that your porch room, in your house, your children are sleeping somewhere and you don't know the bed he or she is lying on. You don't know the people he or she is staying, is living with in that dormitory. And I overheard the father of the Sylvester that he gives the son 60,000 naira every week. Is the man crazy? That gesture alone is enough to attract bad boys to his child. You are giving your son 60,000 naira, according to him, weekly, that he gives his son pocket money. To do what? After they say you have been paying 3 million naira per term or so, where they feed them, they do everything. What is 60,000 naira for? That gesture alone attracts the bad boys to their son, because the boy will be living a very lavish life in school. When you give a boy 60,000 naira, how much is minimum wage, for goodness sake? Do I say we start probing the father where he got his money from? I'm not being heartless. I sympathize with him, but I'm just being frank, as I told you earlier. When people are going like this, I always go this way, because I think deeply before coming into issue. You are giving your son 60,000 naira. He said it himself. Go and watch the video. For what? And this is a small child. He may be talking to his friend, oh, I receive 60,000 naira every month, every week from my dad. And that will attract the bad boys to him. They will start bullying, putting fear in him to collect that money from him. That is the genesis of the problem. So we should address all that from our parents first, from the parents, before we start saying, I'm not exonerating Dowen. They have to be prosecuted, because this guy is their student, and because they have to investigate it thoroughly. I can't say, because I don't follow crowd. Dowen says he played football and fell. I don't know, because you can fall and fail, and it's possible you fall with your face on ground and injure your face. It's possible in football, and it's possible after injuring yourself. It's possible some you can contact some other virus, other whatever. I mean, that can lead to that whatever in his mouth. It's possible. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that let them carry out thorough medical examination, and so that you can ascertain if it is Dowen. If Dowen lied, then they are liable. If they have lied of what happened, because if it's true that this guy was bullied, was locked in whatever in the cupboard, and they knew about it, the first thing they ought to have done as a school is to call in the police and call in the parents. But if they fail to do that, and if they cover up, then they should be prosecuted. They should face the law. No one should face the law. So the question today, how many parents care about their children? Some of them just throw it, they just felt money is the only thing. They want to give out money like that to their children and just say that solve the problem. That doesn't solve the problem. Sometimes create time with your child. Create time. Maybe once, maybe twice a week. Sit him down or take him for a stroll. Let him be at a relaxing mood. Ask him questions. That's what I do for my children. Imagine having 4 kids, 4 boys. So I have to bring in all mechanisms, strategies to make sure I'm grooming children for the future. If not so, you are grooming your grave. Why on earth will you be giving your son 60,000 naira every week? What's the meaning of that? I should assume it's a slip of tongue from Sylvester's father. Why? What is minimum wage? Why? How many times did you expose your children to the word of God? How many times do you expose your children to the word of God? For them to have fear of God, how many times have you exposed your children? Do you pray with your children? Even while in school, do you always call in the morning to say, okay, let us pray first? You can do it. You can call for business. You can call your business partner anywhere in the world. Why can't you call your child early in the morning? If the father of this boy had been doing that every morning, he would have known there is a problem. He would have known. When you wake up in the morning, you call your daughter, your son. In the hostel, call. Hello, how are you? Hope you are okay this morning. Hope there's no problem. Tell me, any problem? Do you do that as a parent? You think just putting a word expensive school, that is a security? No. They come out worse in those schools. Because in those schools is where you have the spoiled brats. The spoiled brats are in those schools. So you have to be vigilant. How many parents are doing that? They are now coming up now carrying placard, Sylvester must not die in vain. Yes, but have you asked yourselves as parents, am I doing the right thing with these children? When you start giving a child 60,000 naira in a week, what do you expect? You have exposed that child. You have exposed that child to a lot of things. And moreover, your child, you came to school to pick the child. At that condition, you still took him to your house, and you lay him, and he was in pains, and you are still there until the guy died. The parents should go and beg for forgiveness. That is just the truth. You know, my own is always like that. People will say, what is he talking about? But there is always sense in anything I'm reading out. The parents contributed. They contributed. Because if they are open to that child and they give the child listening ears, the child has been complaining to them. If you are a real father or you are a real mother, when your child comes in and you look at him or her, within 5 minutes you're supposed to be able to read your child that something is wrong. Not to talk of a child that came in for holiday and was behaving somehow and even told you, Dad, I don't want to go to this school. That language alone is heavy. It's what you just pick him inside the car and drive him out to a place, just sit down, let him relax. Come and tell me what is happening. Why don't you go to school? School is good. Tell me any problem. Don't be afraid. He will have opened up to the parents. But they bundle him. They felt the bundle, you have to go. They bundle him, give him provision, and send him there. As a parent, our duty is not to give birth alone. Our duty is, we are the first teacher and the first mentor to our children. When you are giving a child 60,000 naira a week, do you think he'll be getting that money throughout his life like that? By the time he grows up and he could not get a job that can earn him 100,000 naira in a month, what do you think that child would do? Ask yourself. Good morning. Well, having said that, I'm going into the Pastor Alpha Babatunde, the General Overseer of Sotitobire Church. We will still have him in this studio soon, but the prophet is resting right now, and we in Savannah News we have gotten across to him. I personally spoke with him this morning, and we have had a good time together. We talked a lot of things, and he's willing to appear on this platform to just reveal some things to the whole world of what happened. I am a Christian, but sorry to say, I'm not a member of CAN. I'm not a member of Christian Association of Nigeria. No, I'm not a member of that, and I don't subscribe to it. CAN is a political movement, if you don't know. I'm not a member of PFN. I'm not. I'm a Christian, I believe in God. But I don't believe in CAN. Christian Association of Nigeria, rule me out. They are a bunch of, how do I put it? I don't want to be rude sometimes, but CAN that they call Christian Association of Nigeria is a scam. Pentecostal Federation of Nigeria is a scam. The moment you are, I want to tell you people, if you don't know, the enviness that is happening in the world is minute to what is happening in the Christendom. The enviness within the pastors, the enviness within the pastors, they judge themselves more than we, that we the so-called followers. They judge themselves more than we. The moment you have a church and you start growing, people start coming, or you are doing miracle. Miracle can happen. Why not? Miracle can happen. You become their enemies because they could not perform that. They will be the one that will start carrying that. Oh, this guy is using voodoo. Oh, this guy is using medicine. Are you to judge? That is my own. You're not to judge. I'm a Christian, but I'm not a member of Christian Association of Nigeria. I didn't become Christian to join an association. And I didn't go to Pentecostal church to be a member of PFN. No. Yes, I'm a member of Venus Chapel, but I'm not a member of CAN, or neither I'm a member of PFN. I didn't go to church for politics or for any association. I go to church to hear the word of God, to digest it, and try as possible to act it according to the doctrine in the Bible. So, gentlemen and ladies, we will be bringing on this studio Prophet Alpha Babatunde, the GO of Sotitobire Church. Sotitobire Church. You know that name is long. Sotitobire Church. That is, say how big God is. Translated, Sotitobire Church. That was accused of a missing child. But to God be the glory, after 2 years of incarceration, he has just been released. But right now, he's undergoing some rest. You know, it's not easy to be in prison. The trauma of being in prison innocently is even enough to kill somebody. With his case, I believe that we have a lot of people in prisons for what they did not do. But may God, in his infinite mercy, continue to intervene in anyone that finds himself in prison unjustly. God will intervene for you. God will come to your rescue. To shame the devil, God will come to your rescue. Having said that, this morning, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we have for this segment. And we will be coming back. And as I said earlier, we will be featuring here Prophet Alpha Babatunde of Sotitobire. As I said in my discussion with him, I said it's now that the whole world will know him. Nobody knows him before now, but God wanted to use this problem to announce him to the whole world. And whatever the cankerworm has eaten from him will return in million folds. Go and write it down. But also, wherever that innocent boy is, God will expose people behind it, and God will bring that boy alive in Jesus' name. Whosoever did all that, whosoever is involved in carrying this baby from that church, God will expose such people in Jesus' mighty name. I don't need to know anybody. When he called me, he asked me whether I know him. I said, I don't know you. And he asked me questions. So why did you stand by me? I said, I stood by you because I know you are innocent. That was my discussion with the prophet. I said, I stood by you because you are innocent. And he said that I'm a special person. I said, thank you, sir. Because there are a lot of big people that do come to his church. Senators, House of Rep members, ministers, big people, name them, that always come to his church for prayer and wherever, for prayer and counseling, and they get results. But when this thing happened, what happened? They ran back. They forsake him. They left him. But I didn't know him from Adams, but I stood by him, and I have no regret standing by him, because I said it earlier and I continue to say it. I will always stand by the truth, no matter who is involved. I don't need to know you to stand by you. I don't need to know you to stand by you. I don't want to say what I've done towards his own release, what I have done. I can't be saying it here, but I know what I've done, what came out from me. But to God be the glory. I told him, I said, sir, I don't need to know you. But as the Spirit leads me, and as I told you earlier, I always study situation deeply before I run into my conclusion. If they have seen him with child, or they have seen trace with him, I will be the first to say he has to die in prison. I will be the first to say that. But how can you crucify somebody you don't have any evidence about? Burning his church, burning his properties. It was rumor that led to all that. Imagine somebody in Lagos was calling that he's a Yahoo. I asked him, have you been to Accra before? He said, no. Do you know this man? He said, no. Then how do you know? He said, what people are saying. And I laugh. Rumor mongers. Rumor is our main problem. Saying things that is not, that you don't know about. Most people condemning this man does not even know him. And my parting was this morning. Jealousy, hatred, anger will always stop you from the encounter of Christ. You can never strive with all those qualities in you. Because I asked some people, it's not this guy that grew up in Akure here, Odokoyi here, in Akure here. Who is he? There is nobody God cannot use. There is nobody God cannot use. God can use your houseboy tomorrow. So you can see where the envy is coming from. We know him now. Where did he start from? Where did he get his money from? He's buying cars, he's parking cars, he has a Range Rover, he has G-Wagon, they start counting the cars for me. I said, what has that got to do with the missing child? Ogunoloshe, he used children for money. Have you seen him use children for money? Have you seen with any child? Have you been accused before? Has he been caught with any child that he used for money? They could not answer question. So if they are daft going to that way, I should not go with them. I should not go with them. Rumor mongers. Rumor was that they find a baby in the altar. They went there and they burned the church. They could not find a baby in the altar. Rumor is that they have shaved his head. He has confessed. They went to his house. They burned all his house. They destroyed his vehicle. The guy did not confess anything. He did not even shave his head. Rumor mongers. Nobody is talking about the policeman that was killed at the church. I'm using this medium not as Savannah News Now. I'm using it as my own foundation, as the president of JAF Care Foundation. If anybody has the link to the family of that policeman that was killed in that church that day when the mob came to burn the church, a policeman was stoned to death. I could not even watch the video. Please kindly forward me the contact of the wife or the children. Nobody's talking about that. And that policeman too has father, he has mother. Hope you remember. Nobody is talking about that. They are all after the pastor to be locked up, the prophet to be locked up. Please, if you have the contact of the family of the late policeman that was killed during that attack on the Sotitobere church. Please kindly get across to me. Inbox their contact to me. I want to do something for that family, because I know how Nigerian works. Nigerian police would have abandoned him, but we at JAF Care Foundation, we have some package for the family. Good morning. I will say that we have come to the close of this segment, and kindly subscribe to our YouTube page, Savannah News Television. Kindly click the like button and subscribe to our page so that we can be giving you updates and news as it all unfolds. Thank you and God bless.
Like and subscribe to our page on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Savannah News TV. Tune in and watch Savannah News TV. We are live. Savannah News TV. We create awareness about a place in Africa. Savannah News TV. We are distinct, we are focused, we deliver top-notch news in Savannah News TV. Equitable reporting without fear or favor. Savannah News TV. There's a positive change for us and our environment is our aim. Savannah News TV. Tune in and watch Savannah News TV. We are live. Savannah News TV. Our CEO Prince Radekole Oluchimi Jamo. Savannah News TV. Remy Leke, I'm a living witness. Keep watching Savannah. Savannah News TV. Like and subscribe to our page on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Savannah News TV.